If you guys ever want fantasy basketball advice, be sure to check out my Patreon page where I actually help you guys win your fantasy basketball league. I would love as many of you guys to be a part of my Patreon community, so if that's something you might be interested in, be sure to click the link in the description below. So after 1 week of the NBA, we are now getting familiar with how NBA teams are going to be using their minutes, especially for the players that we have for our fantasy basketball teams. And I know it's just been a week, but I've picked 10 players who I believe should not be owned anymore on any fantasy basketball teams because these players were actually drafted on draft day. I'm here to tell you guys that these players should be dropped. In other words, 10 players to drop for your fantasy basketball teams. This video is going to be a really quick video for you guys, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, what's going on guys? Welcome back to a very special episode of Easy Buckets. If you love basketball, you are in the right place. And make sure to hit that subscribe button to not miss any of my upcoming videos just like this. Nicolas Batum just got injured and will be out for 4 to 6 weeks. The thing is, even when he was healthy, he was said to be coming off the bench behind the young guys of the Charlotte Hornets, so I don't see him being owned even if he returns. Marvin Williams has shifted from the starting power forward role to the backup power forward role, and in that role, he is not going to be given a scoring punch role, instead going to be given a defensive role, and even in that role, I don't see him giving us defensive fantasy stats. Dennis Smith Jr. is falling behind in the Knicks point guard race behind Alfred Payton, behind Frank Ntilikina. Dennis Smith Jr. only played 5 minutes the other day and is not looking good, but just keep an eye on him on the waiver wire. But as of right now, you should not be owning him as he's going to give you 0 points a game sometimes, 1 assist, or even bad field goal percentage. Chris Dunn of the Chicago Bulls, guys, one of our favorites to own last year, had a decent first game with 4 steals, but definitely bad because now we know that Kobe White and Thomas Satoransky are for sure the point guard or the backup point guard. The point is Chris Dunn is the 3rd point guard in that scenario, which is not good. JaVale McGee of the Los Angeles Lakers, guys, even though he is the starting center for some sets, the thing is Frank Vogel is said that the starting lineup is not going to be for sure every single game. He's probably going to adjust it to the matchup, and JaVale McGee is having and competing with minutes with Anthony Davis at the center and even Dwight Howard, and over the past 2 games, he has not been given the productive numbers of blocks that we have looking for. Drop JaVale McGee, pick up Dwight Howard if he's available. Mikal Bridges of the Phoenix Suns, guys, we all thought that he would be the starting power forward or the starting small forward for the Phoenix Suns this year, guys, but he's actually coming off the bench and not being very productive. Over the past 2 games, he has lost minutes to Kelly Oubre, and even players like Frank Kaminsky, Aaron Baines, is not looking good for Mikal Bridges. Drop him for a player that's getting more minutes because he definitely isn't getting them. Reggie Jackson of the Detroit Pistons, guys. Reggie Jackson is one of the worst point guards to own in fantasy basketball that's actually in a starting lineup. The thing about Reggie Jackson is that he's very injury prone, and day after day, game after game, he's going to give you with some kind of injury. Plus, Derrick Rose is balling right now and taking over, so definitely Derrick Rose is definitely the point guard to own in the Detroit Pistons. Next up, we got Bobby Portis of the New York Knicks, guys. When Mitchell Robinson returns, he will no longer be getting consistent minutes at the center position, and Mitchell Robinson just returned, and it just proved it. Drop Bobby Portis. He's not worth it at all because Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson is definitely controlling that front court. Kevon Looney of the Golden State Warriors, guys. I just think that the Golden State Warriors system, they have so much big men there that are upcoming. There's Eric Paschall. There's also Willie Cauley-Stein that will return. Just keep an eye on Looney. He might not be a productive center that we all thought he could be, even in the starting lineup. And the last player on this list is Joe Ingles of the Utah Jazz, guys. I love Joe Ingles. He was my man last year. The thing is, with the addition of Mike Conley and Bojan, Joe Ingles really did lose a lot of touches, especially with his playing style being a player that needs to have the ball in his hands. Joe Ingles isn't going to do it. Over the past 2 games, Joe Ingles hasn't been giving you that, and probably I don't see it changing. Joe Ingles is probably the player on this list you might have to keep an eye on, but as of right now, he's a drop candidate. And yes, guys, all of these drop players are definitely players to drop only if you own them in big leagues. I recommend dropping them in a 12 to 14 man league. If it's like an 18 to 20 man league, they might be helpful, but to normal leagues who have 12 to 14 players, these guys are not worth owning. But yeah, that wraps up my video today for the drop candidates after week 1 for fantasy basketball. So yeah, guys, that wraps up my video for today. If you loved the video, be sure to smash that thumbs up button and also leave your opinions down in the comment section down below. But other than that, take it easy, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!
Ay, look at that boy, cooking up joints, like, run at the school, like, you already know, never got help, so did it myself, doing so well, I bet you can't tell that I've been running, like this my dance, yeah.